My name is Jake, a 43-year-old single man. There's a reason why I'm still single at this age. It's because I'm too busy with work. So, I didn't have time to get a girlfriend, and I just ended up coming home exhausted from work every day. Just when I was thinking my daily grind had no excitement, I got a message from an old classmate who also remains single at 43. His name is Noah. Noah went to the same middle school as I did, and he was incredibly smart, going on to one of the top high schools in the state. After that, he apparently went to the Ivy League. Maybe that's why, but he always seemed condescending in his Facebook posts. Hey, we're having a mixer with us single guys in our 40s and some cute girls, so come join us. Well, you'll just be there to make us look better, though. For a moment, I thought to myself, who is this guy? But I decided to join the mixer, thinking there might be hope. For someone like me who doesn't have a girlfriend, a mixer is a great opportunity. If I find a girlfriend there, maybe I could even get married. I knew I was getting into late marriage territory, but I still wanted to get married and build a warm family. So, I headed to the stylish bar on the appointed day. Even though it was a bar, it was a bit on the pricier side, with an atmosphere that women would like. Wow, this is the place for tonight, right? Definitely looks like something women would like. Stylish exterior, and might even be a hidden gem. Hope I meet someone I click with. When I entered, Noah was already waiting at the table. Noah looked me over and then burst out laughing. What's with that lame outfit? You'll totally turn off the girls with that. That's the problem with you guys who only have a high school diploma. Is it really that bad? I thought I dressed reasonably well. No way, it looks terrible from any angle. My clothes are all top-notch. See, cool, right? At our age, you've got to wear decent brands. And check out this watch too. It's a Bruegel I bought recently. Ah, I see. Looks good on you. Noah proudly showed off his brand name gear. Since he got into a top trading company after university, he must have a pretty high salary. Yet, he has neither a girlfriend nor a wife, which made me wonder. Well, I could pretty much guess why. He's really arrogant and always talks down to people, so it's no wonder women get turned off. I figured he must have been dumped a few times because of his attitude. Noah, you seem like you'd be popular, so why don't you have a girlfriend? I know it's a bit rude to ask. You don't get it. There's no woman out there who's good enough for me. I'm not interested in any cheap women. I only want to date women who are cute, beautiful, and smart. Is that so? But the girls coming today are definitely worth looking forward to. They all have college degrees and good jobs, so they seem promising. I don't just want a wife to relax because I earn well. I prefer a woman who works hard and earns well too. And of course, youth is important. Youth. I was a bit taken aback that he, a 43-year-old man, was still looking for youth in his partner. As for me, as long as the women coming to the mixer weren't significantly older or younger, I was open to meeting anyone. I mean, if I'm 43 and she's 70, we probably wouldn't have much in common and I'd be worried about our future. On the other hand, if she's too young, like 20, it might feel like I'm with a child. But then, there are plenty of marriages with big age differences, so it's really up to personal preference. Eventually, the women arrived at the bar one by one. They were all tall and stylish, with great figures. Their faces were pretty too. If they told me they were reader models, I'd believe them. Hey, welcome. Been waiting for ya. Sorry we're late. The train was delayed. No worries, no worries. I got stuck in traffic too, sorry. It's all good, I forgive pretty faces. What's with this guy? I thought, finding him a bit creepy. He was totally smitten with the women, practically drooling over them. He seemed like an old man with ulterior motives, and I thought I'd hate it if people thought I was like him. Noah was clearly trying to win over the women by offering them drinks and saying things like "it's on me tonight." Eat and drink as much as you like. Should we go for the all-you-can-drink plan? I'm covering it today. Well, we really shouldn't. Yeah, let's just split the bill among all of us. No worries, I've got plenty of money, so let's go for the all-you-can-drink. Now that we've ordered, let's introduce ourselves. I'm Noah, a 43-year-old working at a trading company, the Big Johnson Corporation. Wow, that's impressive. Johnson's got a lot of commercials on TV. Right. I'm working hard there as a salesperson. Nice to meet you. I'm Tina, 28 years old. I work at a clinic in Westchester. I'm Mandy, 29 years old. I work at the same place as Tina. You're both so young. From an old guy's perspective, you're both fresh and youthful. Okay. I see. The two women seemed a bit put off by Noah's forwardness. They probably found it creepy and intimidating. Hey, loser, introduce yourself too. I'm Jake, a 43-year-old. Noah and I went to the same middle school. Yeah, this guy's been like a bad penny since middle school. Well, I've always been picking on him. He can't even talk back. Oh, is that so? Sorry to say, Mandy and Tina, but I only invited him for making up the numbers. He's the absolute loser. A high school grad and dirt poor. Who'd want to be with such a dumb and broke guy, right? It's impossible from the start, isn't it? Come on, what are you talking about? That's right. What? Then the two women came over to me. They sat down on either side of me, leaving Noah looking bewildered. Hey, why aren't you revealing your identity, Dr. Davis? Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't expect you two to be here. Come on, I was so surprised. I was wondering how long I should keep quiet. Jer, we heard rumors that you were married, so we thought we shouldn't say anything. I'm not married, I'm single. Really? Was the story about you taking off your ring for work a lie? That was just a silly rumor someone started. As we were talking, Noah looked over in surprise. Then he opened his mouth in shock and said in a low voice, "What do you mean by Dr. Davis?" Because he's the director of the clinic where we work. What? He runs a pediatric clinic in Westchester, right? That's right, Noah, I'm a doctor. Wait, how are you a doctor? Weren't you just a high school grad who became a part-time worker? True, I was pretty bad at school and only went to a lower-tier high school. After failing college entrance exams, I wasn't a part-time worker. I was attending a prep school. What? I really wanted to get into medical school. Remember how my younger brother was always sick and in and out of the hospital? Well, he's doing fine now, but I wanted to become a pediatrician. So, it was just a rumor. You might have thought I was always free, but I wasn't. I was busy studying. Even my high school teachers laughed at me when I said I wanted to go to medical school because I was such a poor student. But your family was poor, right? You lived in a rental house, and your dad didn't earn much, and your mom worked part-time. How could someone like you afford medical school? That's why I went to J Medical University, where the tuition was practically free. After graduating, I had to work in an underserved area for a few years. In fact, I worked on an island. After that, I opened my own practice. Wow. I was falling behind everyone else even in a low-tier high school, and it was faster to count my grades from the bottom up. No matter how much I studied, I just couldn't get good scores, and I was worried I might not even graduate. I just didn't know how to study effectively. But I had a dream. I wanted to become a doctor and save many children. I have a brother who is 10 years younger than me. He has been frail since birth, suffering from conditions like asthma, which led to numerous hospitalizations. Growing up seeing my brother like that made me want to become a pediatrician and help lots of children. However, our family was very poor, so there was no way I could even dream of attending university, let alone medical school. That's why I looked for a university where the tuition fees would be as low as possible. J Medical University was one of them. In exchange for free tuition, I had to work in an underserved area after graduating and becoming a doctor. I had the option of either this university or B Medical School. I got into both, but I chose J Medical University because it was my preferred choice. My tuition for the prep school was covered by a well-off uncle. Thanks to him, I was able to focus solely on my entrance exam studies without needing to work part-time during my gap year. Knowing our family's financial struggles, my uncle offered to continue supporting me even after I got into J Medical University. But I felt too guilty to accept that and managed on my own afterward. Well, that's why I'm a doctor and the director of a clinic now, so I'm not poor anymore. Why are you a doctor? How much do you make a year? Well, our clinic does quite well, so maybe around $350,000. What? And what about you, Noah? Me, $60,000. I see. I thought he'd make more since he works at a trading company. But his salary was lower than I expected, so he probably doesn't hold a significant position. It's not really my concern, and I don't care much about it. I don't intend to compete with him or look down on him. I just didn't want him to belittle me anymore. It's one thing to mock me for being from a low-tier high school, but I don't want him to ridicule our poverty. My dad became unable to work in physical jobs due to a leg injury, and my mom, lacking education, could only take on simple part-time work. But I never resented my parents. They worked hard to ensure my brother and I could attend high school and always made our modest meals enjoyable. I managed to get into that university on my own, while my brother, much smarter than me, got into a prestigious private university on a scholarship. He passed the bar exam on his first try and became a lawyer. Now, his asthma has cleared up, and his allergies have mostly subsided. He's living a healthy life. Seeing my brother, who was once so frail, working hard motivates me to do my best too. Noah, what's wrong? You're looking a bit pale. Jer, haven't you been drinking too much? You've been downing drinks. I'm fine. Really, but you're pale as a ghost. If you're feeling unwell, just let us know. We're nurses, after all. That's right. Maybe, I'd like you two to hold my hand. Just kidding. What? What did you say? And maybe a lap pillow or a back pad would be nice too. Ack, that's the worst. That's creepy. Really? Isn't that just harassment? It was terrible enough that you were mocking Dr. Davis. So, Noah, that's the kind of person you are. Exactly. Were you looking at us with that kind of perspective? That's creepy. We don't want to be here anymore. I'm really sorry you both had to go through this after coming here. It's not your fault, don't worry. We were just asked to come by a friend who knows Noah. Yes, it's not your fault. Mandy, Tina. Let's go, Dr. Davis. We'll be ruined if we keep hanging around such a terrible person. You're right. So, we left some money and departed. Noah had insisted on covering everything to show off, but we didn't want to leave a bad taste by letting him pay, so we paid for our own shares. After that, I forgot about Noah and kept myself busy with work. In winter, the number of children catching colds or the flu increases, and it's a tough time. There are kids struggling with asthma like my brother used to, and I'm glad he's doing well now. I work hoping that these kids will one day be as healthy as my brother. One evening, exhausted, I went to the supermarket and saw a tired-looking woman at the cash register. Her name is Amy. Amy's child has asthma and often visits my clinic. Amy, a single mother, leaves her child with her parents and works from morning till night. While I was examining her child, Amy always looks sad, saying things like, "If only I had given birth to a stronger child," or "if I had more education, I could have landed a better paying job to support this child. But from my perspective, Amy seemed to be trying too hard. Dr. Davis. Amy, good evening. You shouldn't only eat ready-made meals. It's not good for your health, you know. Well, I'm single and there's no one to cook for me, and cooking for myself is quite tough. I usually just eat and then crash. It's quite embarrassing. It's really worrying. You really shouldn't work yourself to the point of collapsing. Amy efficiently scanned the ready-made meals I had chosen. After eating the meals and a salad at home, I couldn't stop thinking about Amy. I had developed an indescribable feeling for the mother of my patient, Richard. But it seemed Amy felt the same way. On a day off, I went out for a stroll and happened to run into Amy and Richard. They ran towards me, hand in hand, looking very close. Are you out for a walk too, Dr. Davis? Yes, I've been feeling quite out of shape, so I was thinking of walking a bit further today. Why don't you walk with us? Richard has been getting stronger recently and seems to enjoy walks. It's all thanks to you, doctor. No, I haven't done anything. It's all because of you and Richard being so diligent. Good job, Richard. Richard smiled at me brightly. I couldn't help but think how wonderful it would be if such a cute child were my own son. After that, Amy, Richard, and I would often meet for walks. It was as if we had agreed to be out at 10 a.m. on our days off. Then, Amy told me her feelings. I was so shocked that I froze. I've always admired you, Dr. Davis. I've never felt this way before. Really? I could only offer a weak response. I was happy to be admired, but I wondered if it was right for a doctor and his patient's mother to have such feelings. There was nothing improper about it, nor was it legally forbidden. But what would Richard think if he found out? Could a 5-year-old like Richard understand our feelings? Maybe not, but children are often more perceptive than we think. I want to be of help to you, Dr. Davis. My ex-husband was very scary, and I couldn't talk back to him. But you're very kind, and I feel like I can be with you forever. So, would you consider a relationship with marriage in mind with me? I'm sorry for a woman of no particular education like me to ask this. No way, Amy. The truth is, I've been thinking about you all this time too. I've struggled for a long time wondering if it's okay for me to have these feelings, but I'm tired of suppressing my emotions. I want to be with you, Amy. Dr. Davis. So, with pleasure. I never had a girlfriend before. I wasn't popular in high school, and during my gap year, I was too busy with entrance exam studies to even think about romance. Then, in college, I was overwhelmed by the sheer amount of studying, leaving no room for a relationship. Working in a rural area, there were hardly any young people around, making it impossible to find a partner. Since returning and starting my own clinic, I've been too busy to even consider dating, just getting through each day. But I realized those were just excuses. Even people who are busy with work manage to have fulfilling personal lives. I find my job rewarding and don't think it's uninteresting or unenjoyable. But I still want to enrich my private life. I owe it to my brother, who's always worried about me, to show him that I'm enjoying my personal life too. Above all, I decided I didn't want this kind of life. Becoming a doctor was great, but I wanted to enrich my private life and have more enjoyable days. I want to walk for life with Amy. Lately, I've come to think of Richard as my own child, and I want to make him happy. I want to give my elderly parents peace of mind. My emotions were a whirlwind, and I found myself crying. After that, Amy and I started dating seriously and got married. Amy became my wife, and Richard became my son. At our wedding, our parents and my brother were delighted. Mom, everything is delicious today. Really, I made it lighter for Dad's health, but I'm glad it's okay. Yeah, I used to eat only heavily flavored dishes and eat out, so this is a refreshing change. Delicious, right, Richard? Richard, who loves potatoes, had seconds of the meat and potatoes. He used to be frail, but he's gotten much stronger recently, so he doesn't need to visit the clinic as often. I wonder if I'm doing anything beneficial for the children. I achieved my dream of becoming a doctor, which seemed impossible before. And now I have such a warm family. It was a late marriage, but that didn't matter to me. But I'm not sure if I'll be healthy when Richard grows up. I'm busy, and I might suddenly pass away. But my wife takes care of me, and I'm also exercising to stay as healthy and live as long as possible. Richard is currently obsessed with baseball, so I bought him a complete set of equipment, and we play together. He wanted an adult glove, so I got it for him. He begged for his favorite one he found in the store. He wants to be a professional baseball player in the future, so I want to be healthy until his dream comes true. Time flew by quickly. Richard is doing great in his high school baseball team. He joined a strong baseball school and even made it to state championship. I couldn't be there because of work, but my wife went to support him. And they won the championship. I was so proud of Richard. And I'm grateful to my wife, who has supported Richard and me all this time. She wakes up early every day to make lunch and thinks about our health. I'm motivated to work even harder for my family. By the way, Tina and Mandy, who were at the mixer that time, are also married with children. They're still working at the clinic, part-time, but they're reliable colleagues. As for Noah, who always made fun of me, he got into trouble for harassing a young girl at his company, leading to a serious incident and getting fired. I wonder what he did to end up like that, but it must have been pretty bad. Well, Noah doesn't matter anymore. All I have to do is keep working hard for my family.